So could you tell me like something that influences you?
Hip hop really influences me. Growing up, you know, we always had the voices of all the. Hip hop is really interesting to me because it's like, it's a culture that was never really meant to be heard if you think about it. Like, we're coming from the most marginalized, oppressed, and systematically kind of confined communities, and now it's the most powerful cultural export in the world. So hearing the MC's journeys and like what the stuff that they went through has really influenced me a lot growing up.
Okay. So who would you consider your favorite MC of all time?
Of all time, I'm gonna go with Nas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to say Nas a lot, but then I don't know, it's like the older I got, I just got more in tune with Hov.
I feel that. Hov is power. I mean, Hov is powerful. They all kind of played a different role for me in my development. Like Nas gives me a deep introspection that like Hov doesn't really do for me. But Hov, he's taking it further than anyone, you know, and every Hov verse these days is like a masterclass on business, you know?
So what is something that you would consider overrated?
Honestly, I think like chasing cash is overrated. Chasing cash is overrated, but the nuance to it is like I'm trying to get $1 billion,
right?
But like the most effective way to like get money isn't necessarily to chase money,
right?
You know, it's like for me it's always been about. Wow, that's a good question because there's a nuance to it, right?
Yeah.
The guys that I notice that just chase cash, they do all the short-term things for cash, and then they end up becoming whack, corny, and outdated really fast, right? Because it's like the same thing, like bringing it back to hip hop. It's like chasing trends in hip hop. If you're chasing trends, you're in, you're out. You're in, you're out. Soulja Boy came and went. All these cats came and went, but the guys who really stuck around for the long term, who, you know, fleshed out their voice, their narrative, their tone, they ended up having the most impact and also ended up having the most money, which is kind of crazy. So I think chasing cash is overrated.
So right now, what's something that you're working on right now, or what are you most excited for right now?
Right now, you're catching me at an interesting time because it's 2 days before my show drops on Viceland. 2 days. 2 days, thank you. I gotta say I'm most excited about that project right now, and I'm really, the thing that makes it most exciting is you don't know how that is gonna be, you don't know how the market is gonna respond to it.
Right.
You might see me 6 months from now and that shit might be the hottest show ever, you know, and like we'll have this chance where we're like, yo, we kicked it before the show dropped and before it blew. Or you might see me in 3 months from now and I don't even get season 2, you know? That's just the reality. And that's the fun part about it is like you put in all this work, I believe so much in the content that we created. And then the fun part is you put it out and you see how the market responds to it. So I guess, you know, in 3-6 months, we'll circle back and see how it went.
Sure. Then with that being said, what's next for you?
What's next? Well, that's the fun part about doing this. Like, every once in a while, I feel like in our careers, you know, we work for a long time, same, you know, and it's really the same series of micro steps every day, and then that compounds. And then every once in a while, you do get an influx point where you experience an opportunity that could take you to the next level. And that for me is right now. And like the crazy thing about when you get those influx points is you kind of don't know what's next, right? Like, you know, if you would have called me 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, I would have had a better charted view of like the next year. But like, I have an idea of how my year, how I want it to play out, but the reality is that you just don't know. So in short, what's next is the great unknown, you know? And I just wanna, you know, I wanna play it by, I wanna have the flexibility to play it by ear, right? Rather than like having some rigid template of like what I feel like it needs to be, I want to just be responsive and be like, all right, cool, this is what's happening. How are we gonna respond to it? Yeah.
So yeah, going back to
the underrated question.
Underrated, man.
You know what? I'm gonna just put it out. I think Cole's underrated. I think J. Cole is grossly underrated. I think he's the illest MC out there right now. Prove me wrong. You can't. You know, he's just killing. He's bodying every verse right now. But J. Cole to me is like representative of like an even deeper thing, where it's like, what's underrated is the steak, not the sizzle, right? He's like, he talks about it, you know, he goes, yes, I'm aware I've been playing the bat from a lack of promotions. I guess I was hoping the music could speak for itself, but the people want everything else. Okay, no problem, I'll show up on every one album. You know what the outcome gonna be. I'm batting 1,000, it's got to the point where these rappers don't even like rapping with me. You know, he's like, he's saying like, yo, I stuck to just the music, and the people want everything else. You know, and so for me, like, J. Cole represents just being rooted in substance, right? Not chasing the cash, not this and that, just being rooted in substance and letting the merits of your craft play out. And like, that's something I've been leaning into lately, because there's a lot of cats at my similar level of, you know, that are my peers that play up their success. If I wanted to, I could rent the Lambo, I could rent the, you know, crazy house and throw a video and play up my success, and that brings you more social validity. It brings you more people like, yo, you know, like really getting really hype. And I've never wanted to do that, and I see when people do that, and I never say anything. You know, everybody got their thing. Some people make millions, other niggas make memes. You know, so yeah, I don't know, that verse on a lot on Jake, that's just been my anthem lately. So yeah, man.
Listen to that this morning. But yeah, that's really about it.
Cool, man.
I appreciate you coming through, taking the time out.
Yo, thanks for touring me. StockX facilities, man. That's money.